So I was wondering, Cameron, if around the entire country, or possibly around the whole world, if there is any combination like us, where a father and a son are so obsessed with Wentworth.
I don't think so. It's a bit of a weird dynamic, but we really enjoy the show. It's just beautifully made and beautifully written, and the characters are so not relatable, because they're not relatable.
Although some of them do remind me of your mother. So we want to look forward to 2018's series, which is going to be Series 6. Mm-hmm. There is a strong rumour doing the rounds of the internet that it will begin in April. We are recording this in February, so not long to go, and we're gearing up. And we're going to go straight back to what everyone was talking about at the end of last series. At the end of Series 5... Yeah. There was some very poor soul, I felt so sorry for her, stuck in a box.
Yes, I think you're talking about Ferguson, and we saw
That's governor to you.
But not anymore. She got to gain, but she became the top dog. She got to gain absolute control, and then lose it all again when she just absolutely lost herself.
Now, we're still a little bit confused by that, aren't we? I mean, I don't want to go through, because this podcast is about predicting what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But a little bit of analysis, I suppose. That was one of the episodes where I was like, what? I mean, she was doing so well. They were about to lynch her, and she had them on board, it looked like. She was saying, I am here for you. I am your mother. Suckle from my teat. And people were going, maybe she's got a point. And then all of a sudden, what were some of the choice quotes?
You people don't have the capacity to run yourselves.
You're animals. You're garden variety pigs.
I think it's important that they did that, because that's her thinking. She's the almighty. She's the one in there that needs to control things, because she knows how to do it.
I know, but she's usually just so
calculated.
Yes, and that was such a miscalculation. Nonetheless, that's where she is, and we go back to where she's in the box in Series 5. You're right. She lost control.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Tried to escape.
Yes, and of course the clincher there was that it was Will Jackson who actually was responsible for burying her in the box after a conspiracy with Ali.
Yeah, and what's his name, Jake.
Jake as well. That's right, because there were a lot of people who wanted to see this lady buried underground.
Yeah, well, for Jake it means that he's cut the puppet strings. He's out of his life and he can control himself now. And for Will, it means that because earlier in the season, the freak was telling him you would never carry out on your anger.
That's right.
You're a wimp.
Impotent.
Yeah, and then he did it.
He did, and then of course the whole series was dedicated to the theme of revenge, which goes right back to B's death at the end of Series 4. So Ali had a very big vested interest, not to mention the fact that the freak's done some rather nasty things to her on a personal level too. True. Other than killing her girlfriend and love of her life. So we're looking into 2018 Series 6 predictions. We're going to start right there at the box. Come on now, put your money where your mouth is. What's going to happen?
Well, I agree with what you say. I think it'd be amazing if the first shot was the spot where she was buried and it's zooming out, and then she emerges burning or something, because he did set it on fire. You've got to remember. I reckon that's what will happen. But I reckon if she gets out, what's she going to do? She's in the middle of the woods. She's going to be walking around scorched, and then she'll probably go on some vendetta mission.
Well, look, without getting into the blow by blow of how I think this is going to go, but she's got a lighter in there. She's got a cigarette lighter, so she's going to use it, and she's going to come out. She's well used to being burned, arm in pig fat. All kinds of burns have happened to Ferguson, so she's not going to mind a little bit of a singe as she tries to escape from this box.
I reckon it's a metaphor for her finale. That's right, she's been burned all her life psychologically and everything, and she goes out with literally being on fire. Well, I reckon she'll be gone at the end of the season.
The other metaphor is rising, a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yes.
Because she never seems to... She's like a cockroach. She's indestructible. And I'm very confused about if this is my wish or actually an educated guess, but I believe that she's going to become the governor again. I truly do. If you look at the facts here, she was attacked outside the prison after being released by an escaped prisoner.
With a weapon.
And she defended herself with a weapon.
And she was getting out, so she was exonerated of the charges before that, so they're not even existent. So
And in this case, she's been. I mean, she's got a very substantial case against the system that's incarcerated her, doesn't she? She's now all of a sudden in the middle of a forest. Clearly, she's been victimised in prison, and I think the reason she's in there is pretty flimsy. Actually, I was surprised she didn't get out during the last season. Again, based on the fact that somebody did attack her in an alleyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lie. My dream is that she actually does become part of the staff. I don't necessarily need her to be the governor again. I believe that she'll be back on staff in Wentworth, probably working for Vera, and her and Vera's deputy as well.
No, because Vera would never stand for that. Although actually, from what you're saying there, and Jake wants to become governor, and that's why he was with Vera, like doing all that sort of manipulation. Maybe he'll become governor and she'll get into the prison and they'll be collaborating together.
You never know. You never know. All I know is, the one thing I do know is true is Joan's not gone. She's absolutely not gone. She'll be back. And like I say, I think that this event, much as it looked like her end, will actually be her beginning, because it gives her justification to prove victimisation in the jail. We need to talk about Frankie. Last season she was out and about. She was free. She was enjoying her life with Bridget. She finally had success. She was finally overcoming her demons. I think she was even starting to establish a relationship with her younger sister, and maybe some hope of rehabilitating a relationship with her father figure. So what's in store for Frankie? Because at the end it was very sad. Ferguson stitched her right up.
Yeah, well, she has escaped with that clever use of the garden delivery system, and she's out to clear her name. And remember that spot where she came into the psychological facility place and she looked at Bridget and said, "I'm back," and then she ran away again.
A bit of a tease, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. I reckon her next stop, because how is she going to clear her name? Maybe she'll go to Mike Panisi's home, where he was murdered, and try and find evidence or find photos of herself that he had.
Yeah, because all those forensic investigators might have overlooked something, right?
Yeah.
So Frankie might see something.
Well, because they don't know what she knows, that he was murdered by his jealous girlfriend Aman, who was jealous of Frankie because he was obsessed with Frankie, who burnt her, who burnt him, and but she just needs to find proof, like those photos, and then not to condemn Aman though, because she's already dead, but to clear her name.
But Aman was guilty.
Yeah, Aman was guilty, but Aman's...
to clear Frankie's name, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think probably the easiest piece of proof she could find was maybe that this is a pattern for that lady. Maybe she's been a jealous girlfriend many times over. Maybe there's lots of mysterious boyfriends who've disappeared or been shot or stabbed or burnt or
possibly,
whatever. So, but Frankie's out there, and we have to believe in her. She's going to find the evidence to clear her name. She has to live happily ever after with Bridget.
Yeah, with
she
Bridget.
must.
Yeah, she's got legal skills, so,
But Sonia is fantastic character.
She is.
If Liz doesn't end up with a bald head in this series, I won't watch the next one.
I knew you'd bring that up.
It's as simple as that. It truly is. It's as simple as that. She's choking. That was the last time we saw Sonia, wasn't it? Choking on the nicotine poison.
Yeah.
That Liz's face. Sorry.
Liz's face.
I just love that face when she was choking on the tea, because Liz always gets that face, which you do really well. So yeah, I was just thinking of that, and that's what made me laugh. But she won't die.
She didn't. That's true. That actually is a cliffhanger. She might die. Yeah, she won't die, but Liz wanted her to, which means Sonya's going to go, "Who poisoned me?" Liz. And then she's going to shave her head and kill her.
She's played Liz like a fiddle throughout the entire time she's been in there. So as I say, I can only say one prediction I've got. I don't know if it's a prediction or something that I demand. If Liz doesn't go bald at Sonia's hand during this season, I won't tune in. So I hope that the producers of Wentworth are watching. I truly won't. Much as I love the show, #1 father fan in Australia, I will not watch season 7.
Well, I've got a prediction about Sonia too. It's a bit out there, but Top Dog might be on the cards.
Oh yes,
especially because she's got Boomer in her stride, who's she's really on her side because she gave her responsibility with the garden project, and basically I think she's got that she just wants the power and she's angry. So I reckon she might become top dog.
She seemed a little bit resigned to the fact that she was going to be in prison too. Like she said, "Oh, my lawyer said this, and now I have to." I don't know if she was resigned. You never quite know what Sonia's thinking. That's what I love about her. I love the connection that the Freak and her made in the last series.
Yeah.
That little tiny moment where the Freak tapped her temple. I know who you are.
Yeah.
Like I know you're a fruitcake.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like me.
That was beautiful writing. That one.
It was really clever. It was good, and you know. It sets a scene because you're right that Sonia may be the top dog, quite possibly.
Quite possibly, yeah.
We do need to talk about lovely Vera, lovely, poor, ineffectual, but growing in maturity and strength Vera, burnt in love.
Yeah.
But boy, has she had some hard lessons. What's going to happen to Vera? I mean, she survived being sent a tongue last series, but she was absolutely at the mercy of the Freak the whole way through without knowing because Jake was the Freak's puppet.
Yeah, well, she is traumatized, by that betrayal by Jake, and she was in love, and then the Freak went, it's all fake, and revealed his real intentions. But
one of the key moments, wasn't it, of the last season when she went into that lift?
That was horrible.
Just amazing.
And then she had that scene where she was crying.
Amazing.
I reckon maybe because she's that prison that she was been in and the governor of, and where she experienced all that betrayal and that trauma, maybe she'll actually leave the prison. Maybe she won't be working there anymore. There's too many horrible, horrible memories in that prison.
I actually think they need to show that Vera has learnt and that she has evolved. So I personally think she's going to be the person to bring that corrupt part of the prison system to justice. In other words, I keep wanting to say PJ from Blue Healers. What's the big boss's name?
Channing.
Channing. Yeah, I think that she'll be the one to bring Channing to justice because Channing's treated her awfully.
Channing's just
Jake, the whole lot. I think Vera will tie it up neatly with a bow and deliver it
Really?
to the board.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, good on her then.
I do. That's what I think will happen there. Ferguson needs to put that uniform back on. She really does. And Vera needs to be quite outraged by that, to say the least.
Putting that uniform back on, though, might hurt her skin because it would be completely burnt.
Yes, she might need to be bandaged like a mummy before she puts the uniform over the top, do you think?
I don't know, Dad. I don't know if she can do it. In the middle of the woods on fire, if she even gets out.
We'll talk about Ali. Now, she sacrificed her opportunity to escape from the prison at the end of last series. What's going to happen for Ali in Series 6?
Well, she's in the prison with the memories of B and the missed attempt to get out of prison with Frankie because she had to sort of give it up.
She lost the love of her life, B, and now she's lost Frankie.
Yeah, she's lost Frankie. And so she was going to... it was quite interesting what happened. She got pulled up by Jake and he said, "What are you doing?" And she basically said, "I'm trying to escape." And he said, "Oh, okay, how are you doing it?" And then she explained and then he said, "All right, I won't tell anyone. You just let me and we'll take care of it and we'll get the Freak thinking that she's about to escape."
I'm going to make a little confession. I am not particularly interested in the character of Ali. Never have been. Yeah, never have been. I'm not convinced by the actress either. She seems beautiful, lovely person, the camaraderie, but too much of the time I've seen in the character, I've seen the actor filter through. I can see that she really likes her fellow castmates, and if I can see that in the actual show, that's no good. So I'm not interested in what happens to Ali. I just hope she moves back into the background a little bit.
But is that because...
If she wants to do a few more nude scenes, that's okay.
Is that because, though, that she's, the actor is, like, quite similar to the character?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I'm not sure what it is, but in a show of that calibre, I do feel sorry for actors who come in and don't hold their own or can't quite.
Yeah.
There was that Doreen's sister was one of the key points there. That poor actress just was so exposed in this particular show because they are so strong. The actors in this show are very, so
very strong. Yeah.
So, and with Ali, I think she absolutely holds her own. Don't get me wrong, but I just see it from time to time. I'm just not always 100% convinced by her. And plus, that just the character herself is, she's more of a prop to other main characters in the show.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? And actually, like the Freak pinpointed in that scene with the shower. You're a sucker for people with power, aren't you? That's what you crave,
A
isn't it?
moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the freak said.
Gee, me and the freak. Am I starting to think like her? I hope not.
Oh, you've always thought a little bit like her.
I have, haven't I?
Yeah.
And I've always said to you that one day I will be bringing her home and you will eventually be calling her mummy.
Bad.
Let's scoot through a few other characters more quickly, if that's all right.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we've got Doreen.
Yeah.
Doreen is wanting a transfer to Western Australia, I think.
No, she's not, because she'd be transferring into a prison when she's out, because she's escaped.
Oh, she just
She
left.
hasn't escaped. She's
of
she's
course,
been...
sorry. She was picked up by Mr. Man, wasn't
Yes,
she?
yes.
And Frankie saw it, but nobody knows Frankie actually was watching.
She was on the roof. Yeah.
How did I get that wrong?
Yeah.
So is she going to live happily ever after? Is Doreen gone?
Well, they have to keep her character in. I mean, like she's got her son though, and she's got her husband out of prison. But they've got to introduce some conflict if she's going to stay a character.
I don't think she'll stay a character. The one thing this show does do well is it will move people along for the benefit of the greater good of the show. Clearly with B, I mean, that was a huge risk. Maxine, so maybe Doreen's time is up. We also need to mention Boomer. Surely Boomer's got to have a happily ever after, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, she's been struggling for 2 seasons with wanting to have a baby, wanting to get out because she's getting older, and just wanting to start a better life. So maybe this will be the season when she finally does it.
We'll wrap this podcast up maybe with a bit of a controversial prediction. I think Boomer's going to fall pregnant, but I believe Sonia's going to harm the unborn child.
Oh, because she's got that psychotic... Yeah.
I don't know why, but clearly Boomer is a force of good. Sonia is not. The writing has to bring them into conflict at some point.
Yes, because Sonia needs Boomer in a way, in a sense.
There has to be a turning point there in that relationship. And it's a shame because it's actually a beautiful... I love that relationship between Boomer and Sonia. I love it.
But Sonia, she's not going to let her, have a baby and then forget all about Sonia.
It will serve some purpose to Sonia to hurt Boomer's unborn child.
It will.
I'm not sure. I don't believe it will be a jealousy thing. I don't think Sonia thinks like that.
Tactical.
But there'll be some sort of purpose served for Sonia to do that. Juicy Lucy.
Oh, no, let's not talk about her.
She's revolting, isn't she? That's why you don't want to talk about her. But she has no tongue now.
Oh, she has no tongue.
She's going to be around, though. She'll be around.
I don't want her to be around.
She won't have any lines. I wonder if the actress gets paid as much.
That's what I did look at an interview with her.
Oh, yeah.
She said, I used to love doing the one-liners, the clever one-liners on that show, and now I'll never be able to do it again.
Ah, so there's a bit of permanency in the way she's talking.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, look, there's our predictions for Series 6 of Wentworth. We're sort of sitting on the edge of our seats waiting for it to come back. At least give us a date, Foxtel, please. Give us a date. We need to know when this is coming back. At the very same time, please know that we respect so much the production of that show. All the actresses, all the people who write it, all the people who produce it, the people who edit it, every person on it. We just look at it like artwork in a way, which is quite strange to say about a show.
It's beautiful.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you.